It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's gonna pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time to a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
Hey there, and welcome back to Suhi Speaks. And today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that's going to be very, very hard for me to put into exact words as I really want to. It is one of the most unique and incredible stories I have ever seen and heard about. This is a movie that I think right from the beginning everybody should go watch. It is incredibly told, very dark, very sad. I'm right now still an emotional wreck, and I want to be hopeful because there's a message towards the end. We'll get into it. Everything about this is going to be spoilers, so if you have not seen the movie, I would recommend you stop. The movie we are speaking about is Sound of Freedom. It stars Jimcaviezel, the guy who does movies that are so unique in terms of story and the gravity it takes. And I went into this movie blindly. I know the story, I knew what the premise is, I know exactly this is based off true events. Tim Ballard, who is a Homeland Security agent, and he was working on pedophile cases and trying to find all the pedophiles, and it's so disgusting the world we live in. We live in a very disgusting, disturbed world where people are kidnapping little children. People are selling children, like trafficking children into sexual activities, and people that are buying them. How are you able to walk on this earth? I am disgusted to be labeled as a human, to be associated with these monsters. And this movie was such a hard watch from the beginning. First act, I was tearing. I was a mess. It was such a hard watch. So the movie starts off, and I'm gonna go by parts. Everything isn't time stabbed. The movie starts off with this lady, Giselle, who hears this girl, Rocio, singing, and she said, "Hey, I heard you singing in the market the other time a week ago, and I'm here to talk to your dad or your parent." And she's marketing and promoting this dream marketing agency where they actually find talent, hidden talent, and they promote it and they can become big. The dad is obviously trying to do good by their kids and give them everything there in Colombia, I'm assuming at this point. And the son walks in, she's like, "Who is this little cutie?" Disgusting how these people are monsters, truly monsters. Tells the dad that they're going to be doing it over here. The dad comes, drops him off, and he's about to enter, and then she's like, "No, this is only for talent," and tells the dad to come back at 7 p.m. So they start grooming them and trying to make them model, take pictures, take poses. The father comes back at 7 p.m., knocks on the door, no one opens. They were gone. They basically false promised these kids, put them in a van, took them, put them in a cargo container, and then shipped them off. And I'm a father, and I can't even imagine the loss of a child in front of your eyes, just being taken away, ripped apart, knowing they're out there in the world and you can't do anything about it. And it happens millions kids. This is the biggest business in the world, $150 billion business. Millions of kids are being trafficked every day. 2.6 million a year. It's disgusting how, and USA is the largest consumer. It is the fucking largest consumer of child pornography in the fucking world. It's disgusting. And people don't even speak on this issue. Why is this not more of an issue? The world is sick. The world is really disturbing. The world is fucked up. In the beginning, Tim Ballard, he gets this pedophile, and this pedophile has all this data, all this information about little tiny kids, and he has one folder that says ages 0 to 6. They open the folder, the agent opens the folder, and it's a 4.5-year-old kid. Like, and there's pictures and stuff and other things they didn't show, but you can get the idea, and it's truly sickening. And the agent quits. He's like, I cannot do this. That is what leads Tim into doing more, because he wants to fix himself, because he is broken. He's seeing all this. All they're doing is catching pedophiles, but they haven't been able to save a single kid. So Tim wants to do that. He wants to do good, at least try to save a kid. He is a father of 6. I think in real life he's a father of 9. Again, this is based on a true story. He's a father of 6. And he's trying to do good. He makes sure, like, at least he does something good. So he uses this pedophile, tricks him into committing even a bigger crime, gets him fucked up more, finds one of the people that is actually trafficking a kid, which ends up being Miguel from the beginning of the movie, into United States, pegs him, gets him, saves Miguel, and Miguel then tells this whole story about how they got there, because he's like, my name is Tim or Timothy, and you call me Timoteo, that is how you say in Spanish. Then he goes, Timoteo, my sister gave this necklace. It felt a little Man on Fire-esque. And then he basically goes in the whole thing. He's like, I think this is like destiny, God's calling, because his saying, and this saying is so beautiful. It happens in the second act. He goes, God's children are not for sale. And it's so true. How can you... okay, we're gonna get into that soon. So he basically listens to Miguel, and he's like, can you go save my sister? Then he's like, promise I'm gonna do my best. Or he says something, and this sends him into a whole thing where he asks his boss, he's like, listen, give me a week, I am gonna try to save more kids. He gets a little pass, but a little small budget, because this is like a secret op. He goes there, and then he finds a plan, because he wants to do it big, because he cannot just go to little, save 1-2 kids at a time. So he basically says that, you know what, we're going to do a whole party scheme. Then in fucking Thailand, they have something called Club Bangkok. And same shit happens with billionaires and fucking sick rich people. They are in Thailand, where they basically have these sex hotels where shit like this happens. And what's crazy is the guy that's working with him on this idea, not Pablo the billionaire that comes later on, I can't put his name into this. He basically got into this because he had an insane night where he was drunk and did cocaine, and he ended up with this prostitute who he thought was 25 years old, but when he looked at her feet, she had tiny baby feet and had like kitty on it. And then the more he sobered up and looked at her, she was a child, 14 years old, and she's been doing this since she was 6. For 8 years, she's been doing this since 6. 14? The world is disgusting. So Tim creates this idea, and they basically create a sex hotel there. The Homeland Security, the boss says he can't do anything. Tim quits. He persuades Pablo. Pablo gets on board. They buy this island for $2.6 million. They basically say they are hosting a sex hotel for a lot of members, and buying price is $100K, and they minimum require 50 to 60 kids. And all these child traffickers in Colombia get together, and they're like, yes, we'll do this. They have a whole meeting. It's like a heist. They basically get 30 kids in the beginning, and then the main guy, comes, and he's part of it too. And then like, oh, the rest are coming too. They basically were trying to do a soft opening. They got him. 54 kids. I think it was 120 in what happened, True Events. This guy's a hero. We look at Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Captain America, rightfully so, they all have messages. Spider-Man, everybody, all these heroes, they have messages. But this guy is a true hero. He's saving kids. He's reuniting families. He's giving people a life. The world is fucked up. This is going to be the most hardest review I've ever done. Anxiety was through the roof. I feel so small and helpless in terms of all this. At the same time, I am so disgusted at how fucked up and evil the world is. So fucked up. These kids have been sexually abused. They're forced to have nicknames. Like Miguel was forced to have a nickname called Teddy Bear. It's sickening. Parent losing a child is the worst nightmare. Knowing your child's bed is empty. How could you breathe? This was a hard watch. Because of Miguel, Tim went on this venture to fix and save more, and him saving the kids was the sign of freedom. The why the movie's named. Millions of people are trapped over there. Act 2 was about reeling everything in. It showed the shittiness of bureaucracy. Act 3 is where he couldn't save Rocio. Rocio wasn't part of Act 2. He had to go save her. She was basically sold off to this rebellious outlaw led by a scorpion dude. He had a scorpion tattoo. And they were in the outer part of Colombia, I guess, down south. And they no law. Cops don't go there. Nobody goes there. If you go there, you're basically dead. They pretend to be humanitarians working for the World Organization. They saying they're doctors for WHO. And when they stop them in the river, Tim goes with them. He basically at night saves Lucio, kills the leader. They escaped. Anxiety was through the roof. And I kept on saying, I wish he went for the other babies too. All in all, because of Tim, a lot of acts have gone in play. A lot of kids have been saved. This was hard. People should watch this movie, get the message out. They need to see this. It was incredible. Just to do, I can't even fathom the crew, the kids, the children actors were phenomenal. I can't see if you have a soul, you must have been crushed editing this movie, like doing scene. I was in tears. I was in tears the first act. I couldn't stomach it. It was really difficult. And I'm rating this as incredible, a must watch, a must see. I don't care about awards. I don't care about anything. This is what cinema's about, what Hollywood should be about. This is what humanity should know about. At the end of the message is hope, and I hope you go watch this. Like and subscribe. You should go watch this movie. Yeah, I'm Suhi.